Hi there. Have you ever felt anxious or unsure in front of a camera? Definitely I have. Welcome to my Camera Confidence Project Day 46. At the moment I'm driving out of my parking lot where I will going back home now. I have finished the first meeting I had in the early morning, and I have about 15 minutes of drive before I will be at my home again, and from that point I will continue my work from home today. And as you know that being a politician or a municipal politician in Norway, it is a part-time job. We do not have professional politicians, so you have to combine it with your job. And today's topic I want to discuss with you guys is actually what kind of profile I will have in my political gatherings. In a sense, I have decided that I will start wearing a blazer when I will be on political meetings, because the reason for that is we are starting a round of meeting couple of parents groups from the schools where they are suggested that because of the situation of the demography in Norway, we need maybe to close some of the schools, and our administration has decided, or they have made a document of what kind of alternatives we do have. And from the day this document has been released, parents from schools where maybe a school will be closed, they have made lots of arrangements, and now they want to talk with us as politicians. And since I'm leading my party group, I will be joining or meeting those parents groups. So in a sense, this is a way of meeting our population, and in that sense I will be meeting a lots of different schools. So I have spoken to my advisor, and he said we shall have a professional outlook and showing that we are taking this case seriously and making notes there, and have good questions, and also decide our view as if we were the only party which would have to decide the future of the schools in our city. So in that way, a lots of different views has been coming, and our party group is also divided what we shall do for the future. And at the moment, what we have decided that we want to go further with this. I'm not at the moment. I'm not sure what kind of words you are using in English, but it's called høring. That a document be sent out for the public to read it and give their reply on it, and then we can start having that discussed in our council meeting. Our party position at the moment is actually that we are willing to close schools if it is the best solution for our coming generations, our new school. But we also have acknowledged that that a lots of children will get their school way a lot longer than today, and some maybe has to go up to 1 hour, 45 minutes, 50 minutes before they go to school. And since our country, Norway, is a winter country also, that in winter time we have lots of snow, and that can be a challenge for small children feet legs to make go up the same way. So at the moment I'm not sure what our strategy will be, and a new insight has come in my view is that maybe the tomorrow school is more expensive than today. The reason for that is we shall at least have same kind of the service that we have today, and then we have to invest in it. If tomorrow's school is that we have to have less schools, but we also need to have longer time, longer way to go, longer distance between schools and their home, meaning that a lot of children has to be driven to their school instead of walking or cycling to their schools. I do not think that in summertime this is a big challenge of the distance, but in wintertime I definitely understand that will be a challenge, and many parents will have struggling to have their logistics each day. Maybe one person has to work a bit less than today, and I do not think that a lot of people will move, but I do not think that is even though they find a solution, that is not good policy. We need to be attractive to other parents' families, and in that sense, if we need to take money out of another program, another department, then we shall be willing to do it. So at the moment, what we are thinking is that we have not considered it, but we want to take the money out of another program to invest more money in our schools, our future, because the children of today are the future of tomorrow. And if we can't use more money on it, what's the purpose of having so much big budgets? We have approximately about 7 billion of the budget for the schools, but it's going to be a hard one to go for a solution that will be challenging in the future. I do understand that it maybe is economically rational to close schools and use it for other services in our council, but closing schools, it can give you economical rationale to close down, and you do not use that money on warming up for less children. But I'm also thinking is in the economic rationale, you should only have one school for all the whole of the council, maybe 2-3 schools, big schools, then it will be more economical rational to do it. But everything doesn't have to be economically rational. We need to think of our society, how to build it, and we need also, I think, to actually make a choice. And the choice shall be, do we need to focus on the future of our generation or not? That is our main goal. The children which are actually not born in today, that they shall also have the same kind of services as they have today. And we need to acknowledge that tomorrow's school will be more expensive than today's. And as long as the government doesn't increase our budgets, our way of thinking, we need to make the prioritize the school instead of making the economical rational. And that's the reason the politics is quite challenging. It's not always easy and doing some good work for the community. It is actually also prioritizing and downsizing. And that's I think it has been the greatest difficulties for me to land on a economical rational way, or we shall think of the long term, which means that are we prioritizing our future or not? I have seen lots of good feedbacks coming out from children, parents, and I must say that I agree with them, what they are saying. I do not have any good answer to them why we shall close their schools, because there are almost full schools there, and the only thing which we are saying that we are at the minimal level of having place for them or not. And in a way, we have to think that if we are providing our children better place to be learning, then what's wrong with it? We are actually giving them more money, more if we are, and it's the same to say that if you increase more teachers, that's above the recommendation of the government or the law, what are we doing then? We are prioritizing them up. I understand that in a way we will also down prioritize another program, but we have to be tough enough to take that decision. We need to take that decision. Sooner or later, it will backfire. And as you see that with the engagement of our parents, we can see all over the places where we can see that they are saying to do not close our school. And I understand that why we shall press on them. It's actually their schools, they are the Brahmin community. We are just representatives of them. And if they don't want to close their schools, why shall we push for it? That's the biggest dilemma we are seeing today. And as you know, I have come to a shopping center where I will buy a new blazer today for today's engagement, and I hope I will be able to decide the best solution we can provide for our community, our city council, and our future. So until next time, This is Sajid Mukhtar from Camera Confidence Project Day 46. And as you say, I'm going into the parking lot. It's getting a bit darker and my exposure is getting down. And we clearly see that there is less light in here and all the screen is almost black now. But the mics are not affected with the low light. So I hope my voice is still crisp and I'm able to make a good video when I will do it in post-production today. So here we are, and I will thank you guys and I will appreciate your feedbacks and how it is going. Definitely, I'm enjoying the flow, I'm enjoying the process, and I'm enjoying that I'm getting better. So until next time, this is Sajid Mukhtar. Bye bye. Hi there. Have you ever felt anxious or unsure in front of a camera? Definitely, I have. Welcome to my Camera Confidence Project Day 45. In this channel, I'm sharing my tips and progress and how I'm gaining camera confidence. I hope you find it interesting and want to learn more about this skill. Let's dive in. This is a morning in our city, Draman, and I have just started to drive to my political meeting today. And this is a meeting between uh, we as our council as the employers and the unions of the employees. In Norway, we have usually have when a new case will be shown in or for discussing in the council. We start always to speak to the employees about what are their take on the case which will be discussed in the council in about 1 month. And as I am the group leader of my party, I will then be part of this meeting today, and we will discuss one hot debated case in our city now is actually that we are maybe we need to maybe we need to maybe we have actually 33 schools in our city, and as the demographic changes in the society and the trends are that the number of children are going down. So in a sense, we have a case where we have still have more schools than the pupils are in there at the moment. The question is to if the question is, do we need to discontinue some of the schools? And our administration has given actually us option of stopping 6 to 7 schools to balance the decrease in the pupils already already in the society at the moment and what will come in the coming 10 years. And as expected, uh, many of the specifically parents are protesting against it, and different parts of our city has made action groups, protest groups, parents groups to protest against it. And that is one of the cases we will discuss today, to hear what the employees what are their thoughts about it. So that will be, I think, the main case today. And of course, certainly we will also have some other cases we will discuss, as long all the cases which have something connection to the employees is always discussed. And I am driving my car to the meeting place. It usually takes up to 3-4 hours, and then I will come back and start to work again. So I thought I'm thinking that since I'm going to the driving to this meeting, I can use this time to be more productive and speak to you guys and see how my camera confidence is going now. The main difference between the first day and now is that it is much easier to do it, meaning that I do not have to use a lot of mental capacity to encourage me to do this camera confidence. I just pick up my mount with the Insta360, take my wireless Go with me, and I can start this session very quickly. The only thing I'm working on is that if my Insta is charged or my wireless Go is charged. This is the only thing I think, but I don't think I've used a lot or any mental effort to get ready for this session. That's the one other change. And the other change is that I can now look directly in the camera lens and speak to it without any stiffness or any anxiety. Or and the other part, which is all, I do not have any blackout there anymore, and the speed which I'm talking is also in a level that I'm comfortable to have the conversation in 15 minutes. And I know that when you're speaking without any manuscript, anything at all, it usually it can't have any high quality of the message I'm giving. That will come later. The reason for that is, at the moment I'm learning the technical part, how to increase the volume, how to increase the quality of what I'm talking, and how I can improve my voice in post production, so it sounds like a bit more of as the other podcasters. It seems that there is a one challenge which I'm still struggling with, and maybe it is just because I hear myself. That's the reason, and most likely I will not be able to hear myself as I am hearing myself from the speaker. And I think that is something most of the speakers understand, that you sound a bit different when your voice is coming out from a speaker, and you sound differently when you speak from your mouth and hear it. In one way, you are the speaker, and when you hear from a recorder, you hear from a speaker. So most likely, I think the most people will not hear themselves in the same way. It's a kind of same phenomena when you are looking in your mirror. The reason for that is when you look at the mirror, you see a reflection of yourself, not yourself. It is not the same as other people see you. And you, as from your childhood, you are seeing your reflection of yourself all the time, and in your mind you have made a picture of yourself that is a reflection of you but not you. And many times, or I think always, when you see a picture of you taken off a camera, you most likely doesn't like it, or you doesn't see it as you have seen you before. The reason for that is that when the camera takes a picture from you, it takes picture as other people see you. So in a sense, it's a good activity to see that or understand that many times what you have been grown up with is not the same as other people see you. To understand a bit more, I have actually ordered a truth mirror which will come to by mail for to see that always, to see it, and I think I can show other people as the mirror of truth. And as you see now, today there is a bit foggy, cloudy. It's a cloudy and foggy situation today. So in a way, I think my quality of the video will be good. The reason for that is it is not very heavy light outside. It will give me a bit of better reflection. I saw in one of the videos I was making that when you have a bit cloudy just before the evening, you are able to see a more of skies. But on the days where there is heavy light or in the middle of the day, you are not able to see the reflections of skies as it is always blown out. But I think depending on the sensor on my Insta360, that's the reason it doesn't have the same type of quality of full format camera. So that is expected. As I'm talking to you guys now, I have understood it is one thought came up in my mind is to find out which are the best ISO values for this Insta. What are the sweet spot of this camera? And as I in the meeting when I will have some time to check the updates, I think I will find out today what are the best camera settings or ISO settings for this camera. And I can inform you also that I'm very happy that actually my quality is getting higher. Both my primary goal to gain camera confidence and the secondary goal to gain the technical practical know-how. And this is going to be my 45th day, and it has been quite been a journey to increase camera confidence, to learn to change your habits and actually change your identity. And when I'm saying identity change, it means that all of us have the capability to actually change ourselves if we want to do it. And the research shows that you need to do something about 66 times, and then it will stick as a habit. It can also mean that if your new habit or new skill is difficult, you need to use a bit more time, and if it is easier, you will use less time. And you need to make it visual. It means that you need to have some kind of cues in your life which will help you to remind you to make a new habit. Even though many of our habits are automated and you have learned over a long time, but the difference from the time is over, and we will continue tomorrow. Bye bye.